Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's Alex Belfield talking to the stars of the Strip. I'm meeting some of my favourite people, and I always love a good dinner, and we found a tremendous restaurant, which is world-renowned. Bouchon is the Thomas Keller restaurant at the wonderful Venetian, and you can come here and enjoy a tremendous meal supplied to you by Chef Brian. How are you?
Excellent. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. I've just had a wonderful dinner outside. That gets me in a good mood already. To eat outside is a terrific thrill.
Yes, it's quite lovely here in Vegas in this time of year.
It's hit and miss though. I mean, we're at the kind of middle of May, end of May. Some days it's windy, some days it could rain. We picked a perfect day to be outside and it was great. What's the most important thing with a restaurant? Is it the food, the ambience, or the service?
I think it's all three. You have great food but terrible service. What do you remember? You remember the terrible service. So without the ambiance, you can't have either of the other two. So I think all three are most important.
So does the buck stop with you then? Ultimately, are you responsible is your responsibility to oversee all of this?
Yes, the entire restaurant. Thomas has given us. He always tells us, treat it like it's your own. Someday it will be. And fortunately for me, for the last year and a half, it's been mine.
Tell me about Thomas Keller. I mean, this man has got a world-renowned name in gastronomy. We all know that he's good at what he does. Of course, he hands these restaurants over to people like you, and then you've got to kind of take it forward and make sure the standards are still there. Yes,
working with Thomas is fantastic. With our casual dining, Bouchon's, Beverly Hills, and Yountville, we try to. It's about the simple foods, and I say simple as in a roasted chicken, but done to perfection from the right purveyor, roasted the right way. Idaho farm-raised trout. Without those wonderful products from the wonderful purveyors that we have, you wouldn't have the food that Thomas is all about.
Is your main job consistency? So if I came here today, I'm going to get as good a meal as I would tomorrow?
That's our goal, yes.
And that's the hardest thing, I suppose. Now, you've got the fish bar down the end, and I was delighted to have some of your shrimp today, more langoustine, actually, and the beautiful crab and the lobster. The sourcing of it, is that important to you, where it comes from and how fresh it is?
Of course. During the winter months with the cooler waters, we can harvest a little bit further down the coast in California because the water is cooler. Traditionally, we harvest from a company called Penn Cove out of Washington, up in the British Columbia, and we also have a few purveyors at Back East. The Back East oysters will be a little bit more briny. The East Coast is going to have a little bit more melon and a sweetness to them. So having those freshest oysters, I call today, they harvest in the morning, and I get them at night.
Well, absolutely beautiful and tremendous. And then I moved on to the lamb, which again was so simple but so beautiful. You did it with peas, and again, that's not something that people would immediately think because it's often not fancy enough. That's what Thomas does, isn't it? Makes good ingredients that are locally sourced and beautifully cooked and in season, fashionable, because you can get overcomplicated with food, can't you? And then suddenly it's not food anymore.
Exactly, and that is our challenge and our goal is, you take something like an English pea, and it's harvested at the right time, is picked and is blanched in the proper way and seasoned, and from every step from the purveyor to how we get it and how we process it is most important. And then our sourcing of the lamb, we use Keith Martin, who has wonderful lamb. We've whole leg, we break it down, we marinate it, we tie it, we sous vide it, and it's roasted to your temperature. So it's all about the ingredients and all about how you respect the products that you get.
And again, with the lamb, it can be so easily ruined. Just 2 minutes one way or the other can make it horrible, tough, or undercooked. How do you know exactly when it's done? Is that your talent, kind of feeling it and knowing it?
It's all of our talents. We teach that, we mentor it on how to really respect that product. So exact temperature. It's going to rest for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes depending on the product, and we can slice it and send it to the table. That's so important.
There's a couple of delicacies here which are tremendous. The salmon pot that you do, tell me about that. I didn't do it justice there. Explain to us what you do, but it takes weeks in the process.
It's salmon rillette. We use fresh salmon that we've marinated in Pernod and a smoked salmon that we get Scottish salmon. There's 4 types of fats in it, with shallots and creme fraiche and egg, and with the steamed and marinated in the Pernod with the smoked salmon mixed together, and we put it. It's a classic dish, a potted food, if you will, that we've taken and we've made it our own. So we take this item, we'll put it into a jar, we cap it with a clarified butter, and let it sit. So it's something that was they had to do because of necessity. Something that they made, and we've made it a little bit better for everybody to enjoy.
And again, that's really your skill, isn't it? The decadence of something like a foie gras is the same with the salmon. Taking it to that next level, that's what you're good at.
We try to do that.
Is that exciting for you when people order that stuff? Because for some American audiences, maybe from the Midwest who want simpler food, to kind of get them into other stuff must be really exciting when they come away and go, I've never tasted that before and it was delicious.
That is, and that goes to the service that we talked about before, is having that educated service and that standard of saying, hey, they may be from Ohio, but they're trying to pate that nobody's done before. They don't see that. That's not something that's in every restaurant. Or a salmon, rillette, or the foie gras terrine that we do. That again, it's another 3 or 4 day process, and it eats like a peanut butter, but it's so rich and so wonderful. It's the classics. At Bouchon, that's what we have. The menu's been written for us hundreds of years ago, and we just try to take the ingredients and make it better for everybody else.
And what's tremendous overall about this place is that it's fine dining, but it's not pretentious. I don't feel awkward when I come in. Even the menus, for example, are wrapped around the napkins, which is exciting and different, but it kind of takes the pressure off a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, we are a bistro. People think that they say it's fine dining. Well, I think we give the style of service and food to be fine dining, but it's not, like you said, it's not pretentious. You can walk in jeans and you don't have to even be a button-down shirt and sit down and enjoy a meal with us and enjoy this beautiful restaurant for what it is.
To sit outside in the sunshine with this lovely warm air of Las Vegas is just a thrill. For you here in Vegas, if you weren't here dining in your own restaurant, where would you like to go and what impresses you?
That's a challenging question. There's so many great restaurants in Las Vegas. I tend to go, I like what Joe Robuchon's doing. I'll go to L'Atelier because I like to sit at the bar. You kind of see the cooks. I love his truffles and pasta in the winter. That's something that I go with my wife every year. You know what? I know white truffles are there. We're going to go. We enjoy that. There's so many restaurants. To name them all, we could be here forever.
This is a foodie's town. It used to be all about the $2.99 buffet. It certainly isn't now, is it?
No, not at all. No, you come into our restaurant and see what we do every day and try to make it better for the guests, and it's really what it's about.
I know you were here very early this morning. You'll be here till late tonight. This is more of a love and a talent than a job, isn't it? Because if you were doing it hour on hour, you'd probably find something easier.
Of course, you have to love what you do, and you have to love, the people that you work with and work for. That's what it's about. We work, you work long hours, but that's if we didn't, we wouldn't have that same guest experience.
Congratulations on everything. I've loved my dinner outside. It's been absolutely lovely here at Bouchon, which is at the Venetian. Chef Brian, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me for dinner.
Thank you.